Whoops, we're floating around a bit, folks. Sorry. A little bit tricky getting it right. Okay, this will be an interesting one. A little bit grotty, a bit gross, but it should look really nice. I'm wondering if we're gonna keep it on that. It's colourful. Actually, no, we don't want black. We want full colour. This is a colourful piece. It's got colourful bits. So let's see how well we can make it look. We'll go 200 to start with. See if we can make it look really nice. Contrast. Full blast with contrast. We're gonna leave it in the middle. Still got the snotty nose from my flu. Sorry, folks. Right, we're just gonna bump the colours. Wondering if we're just gonna leave the black as is. We're running low on black toner anyway. It says toner K is low, replace when indicated. So that could happen during this demo. But I might be able to stave it off by simply opening and closing the front door on this equipment. So let's see what we got. We got here, they look like Apple style earphones. This one's broken and I found it. And I think that's why it was left behind. Also, it was broken. So who wants to use a pair of broken earphones? Not many people would. Except maybe if they couldn't afford to replace them. But hey, we live in a rich area, so this shit happens. But it should be properly recycled. And when I finally finish with these ones out of my demo, they're going to go into e-waste recycling. I'm not going to tolerate having these end up in landfill because electronic waste is dangerous. Highly toxic. I don't know how toxic these are, but I always treat any kind of electrical or electronic waste with suspicion. I have a zero tolerance for it. That's the way I feel about e-waste. I have no tolerance. That's really colourful. I think we can improve the layout a bit, but basically I have zero tolerance for e-waste. Badly disposed e-waste. E-waste must always be properly recycled because it could end up drinking it in your water. It could end up in the food chain. You don't know what. It's just not good. People should not be drinking and eating stuff laced with e-waste. So you got to fucking think about in future where you throw your mobile phone when you can't use it anymore. And if the phone still works, that's really dumb throwing it in the bin. You could always give it to someone, like a poor person. You could give it to someone who otherwise can't afford it. A relative, a friend, just think about the planet before you throw your e-waste in the bin or on the sidewalk, in your recycle bin. It shouldn't definitely not go into your recycle bin because that's for materials like plastics and paper and metals like tin cans and shit like that, or drinking or drink cans, but it's not for e-waste. E-waste, there are sometimes e-waste collections they have on the curb. You just have to keep in touch with your local council about it. And if the local council can't find it, try and Google how to dispose of it. And it's very hard to dispose of it. It's hard to know who you can trust with e-waste because sometimes some recyclers are not who they are, who they claim to be. They're not actually. They might dump it. So you got to know what you're doing, and you got to try and do a bit of research on this topic. It's extremely important for the future of our planet and the future of humanity as well as nature. We don't want mankind to get cancers and brain damage and all that sort of shit from materials like lead. Lead causes brain damage, so you don't want to drink that in your water or have that in your food. You got to think first before you dump your shit. You got to think of this stuff. Maybe Google the consequences of incorrectly disposed e-waste. Google what happens, because you'll get a very nasty shock finding just how deadly this shit really is. It is extremely deadly, folks. It must be dealt with properly. So I'm going to get my shit recycled sooner or later. I'm going to try and clean out this unit that I've got before I get married to my future husband. And we're going to do an e-waste drop. We're going to an e-waste recycler and we're going to drop this shit off there. So this stuff's going to be recycled. So that looks good. I think even though it's a bit curly, I think now we can call it quits.